Good morning from Venice, day 5. So my last full day today, technically, as we get a flight late tonight, about 10:30 p.m. So it is a full day. So I'm just out on my last early morning walk. So I'm going to go and check out some final locations, this time for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So, this first location from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was actually used in Moonraker also. It's a location where both Indy and Bond arrive by gondola, I think, boat, either. If you've watched the other videos, you'll recognise it straight away. In Moonraker, it's a scene where Bond is looking for Hugo Drax's scientific laboratory. So it's here that Dr. Jones arrives by boat there. Unfortunately, the tide is high and it's flooded, so I can't get to it, but you saw it the other day. There's probably a clip on screen around about now. Wow. Is this? Yes, that's it. I believe November time is when Venice is worst hit by floods. So, if that's how it is in January, gosh, must be bad in November. But yes, this is the location where Bond arrives and comes through this courtyard here. So it's these gates here. To my right is where Bond arrives. He goes to those gates and he has a key, funnily enough, for the padlock. He goes through the courtyard and up the stairs. He later on has a fight with one of the henchmen, or starts his fight there, I think. But it's too dark to show you properly. It's also being renovated. So there's scaffolding everywhere. Yeah, so you can't see anything. So onwards to the next location. So, it's a bit of a shame. That's the second time I've not been able to get to that location properly. This time for a different reason. flooding, water coming all the way up the pavement. So I'm about to go over this bridge where I believe the finest view in Venice is. Not only the finest view in Venice, maybe the finest view I've ever seen ever in a city. Although it's a bit misty this morning, so we might not see much. As I suspected. Very atmospheric though. So I have to cross that bridge again on the way back, so I'll get a better view of it. So, the second location is a scene where Dr. Jones is on the trail of his father, played by Sean Connery, in the library where he was last seen, which is just behind me here. But before we see the library, we'll have a look at this pavement where they walk down first on the way to it. So in this scene, Dr. Jones is arriving at a library where his father, played by Sean Connery, was last seen. But he just walks down the street here first, right in front of me. Just down there is the library. It's actually a church, but you know, we won't quibble. So they walk down here, right down here. Fedora, the lot. So I think it's right about here where they're walking. Right here. There is the library. So they go into the library and then they break into a vault, which is in the floor. And they go down into the crypt, the basement, the library basement. And they have a bit of an adventure with some rats, thousands of rats. It was a lot of extras that day, rat extras. So out here they must have built a false pavement because it comes out the floor. Here, some magic of film. So let's go over there. So it's just here where he comes out the floor, out the pavement, out the manhole cover. So there we are. The library from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Door. Right, let's go off to the next location. Oh yeah. Incredible. Okay, onwards. Time is short today. Bit of a rush. Next location. So we came down here on the day 2, I think. Obviously I wanted to keep this as a separate video in case you thought it looked familiar. So this location here is actually the scene where Indy and Marcus, played by Denham Elliott, first arrive in Venice. And they disembark from a ferry of some sort, come ashore to this location. So it's just down here, this is it, where Dr. Jones comes ashore, right here. So that was 1989, I think, that came out. So 35, 36 years ago. 37 years ago it was filmed. Oh, gosh. I remember it. that's it. That's all of the Indiana Jones locations. Not that many really. And it's still only 8 a.m. So I'm going to head on back to the apartment now for some breakfast, and then I'll head on out again. Open. Morning.
Morning, you alright?
Yeah. Oh, morning. So I'm just in St Mark's Square with the family now. They're over there looking at bookmarks. So we're just heading off to the Opera House. Just over this bridge is the front entrance to the Opera House, which promises to be quite magnificent if the photos are to be believed. back the way we came then. Ah.
Poi adesso che si sbrissa dentro che un certo con
Whoa, look at that place. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick. Wow, most of the water's gone. Most of the water's gone. It's just the tide. It's the tides that must have gone out. It comes up through these holes, doesn't it? So we've had some lunch. We're just winding down the clock really now and doing a bit of shopping, looking around shops and just counting down the hours and the minutes before we head off to the airport.
Killing time is an idiom which means to engage in aimless, unimportant or casual activity to make time pass faster. It is an informal, neutral or slightly negative phrase used to describe filling rather than using time, and is quite similar to that other idiom, winding down the clock. So, we killed more time by eating more food and drinking more coffee and shopping in more windows.
Life is. Life does.
Poet Ezra Pound's mythic and magical Venice, described as water richer than glass and a white forest made of marble. he saw Venice as not just a city, but as a paradigm for artistic vision and a symbolic landscape.
Soak it all in.
Green veins in the turquoise, a stone forest growing out of the water. Pound saw Venice as a testament to history, noting the city's inevitable sinking, whilst also highlighting the pigment flake from the stone to show the inevitable decline and conflict within Western culture. Ernest Hemingway, on the other hand, describes Venice as a goddamn wonderful city, who left his heart there, as I would.
Is the stop definitely down here?
What I loved most about Venice was not just its undeniable charm and beauty and its uniqueness, but its audacity. Its audacity to not just survive, but to flourish, even in light of the fact that the city knows it will ultimately be defeated.